All right, we are live. I am on the spotlight. First guest is Sergio Bonacci La Palma. Little late, not really. It's 3 p.m. right now. It just became live. What is I Am on the Spotlight? We are spotlighting artists, and the first artist that we are spotlighting this week is Sergio Bonacci La Palma. Here he is, right here. Say hi, Sergio.
Hey, how's it going? I can't see you.
You can't see me. Okay, well maybe the live is lagging behind some, as it usually does.
Do you have your camera on with me?
No, my camera isn't on with you in the meetup, no.
Okay, I mean, as long as you see me, it's fine, right?
Yeah, I see you.
I mean, as long as the streaming sees you and me, because I don't know what you are showing. So, but if you have my
if you can
source,
open Facebook
okay.
Live in your phone, yeah, but at the same time, it's gonna be delayed on Facebook Live anyway.
No, it's okay. I mean, I trust you.
Okay.
Don't worry. This is kind of like a test. This is the first time you're like doing this. This is kind of like the episode 0.
Episode 0, and we are live. We are live on episode 0. So, what do we have in store for them, Sergio? How did we meet? You know, you're in your car, you got your fuzzy dice right there. Like, let's tell them about you a little bit.
I just put myself in the car because I wanted to drive when you were going to put some music. So I said, okay, it'll be cool. When you're putting music, I can show the camera facing the car. And, people can see a little bit about LA and about Bow Heights, where I live. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what happened was I went to get a pair of headphones that I haven't even plugged in yet because I figured the desktop sound was going to cut over my audio sound and go into the mic, etc. But it was 2:58 when I got to the computer and I wanted to make the timer, and we just made the timer in the nick of time by getting you on. So, I guess I could pull up the intro music to show what we had in store.
Yeah, man, do it. I don't think nobody's watching that. Probably my mom is the only person watching this show.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into the laptop right now, and I'm gonna turn on the Facebook feed on the laptop so I can see what's going on there. But yeah, we got time here. We'll get into it. We'll get into the real shit. Yeah, how did we meet? Basically, we met UBloom LA 2017.
Yeah, Lisandro had the crazy idea of making a rockumentary about the UBloom, and I thought he was crazy. And I just decided to follow his instincts, and we met Elliot Nexus, and then he nexus us with the UBloom team, and that's when we met you. We were with this team meeting, and you were having like 10,000 Red Bulls by then. I remember you made a huge sign of Red Bulls, like peace and love sign,
And you were having like 3 Red Bulls from my cousin and his girlfriend.
And then I remember you took us all the way home after that meeting, and you had a whole bunch of poetry just flying around the car when you were riding with the windows open. So all of your poems were like flying away when you were in your car place, which your car later died 2 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, that car's dead.
So that's how I met you. That's how we met you. We were with Lisandro in that meeting and with Elliot and everything.
Yeah, and I got there because of Elliot as well. So Elliot Next was the one that hooked us and linked us in together. And what did we do? You guys had the idea for the rockumentary, so I guess I was doing like...
No, it was Lisandro's idea. I helped them.
So Lisandro had the idea for the rockumentary, which brought us all together. And how did we even get that together? Like, what was the process of that? Like, you want to give a little insight on that?
Well, it was his idea, and I helped him direct it. And when we met you, You were like the character that was helping us go to all of these places from the festival, because we've never I mean, we were barely here in LA, and we didn't have car. So you would drive us all around the festivals where different venues were happening live. And so you were kind of like guiding us, and you were kind of like our main character from what we were documenting. So we thought it would have been interesting if you being like the main character to document, because since you were like introducing us to these places, someone that would be watching the film would have feel, that you were also introducing these places to them as well. So we got that organically, just to to play smart by the time we were going to be editing and doing the post-production. So yeah, that's how you end up being the main piece of the film. That's why we show you at the ending, because you're always talking about that you're a poet and that you do poetry, but we never seen you doing poetry up to the end. So we kind of like play with that suspense, so the audience can see the feature up to the end and see your amazing poetry live at the Lexington, which is closed now. They've changed. I think that place doesn't work anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if anybody watched a little bit of that mashup that came out at 12:27 on Facebook today, where I say Mark Bowers, aka I Am on the Spot, and Sergio says perfect, that is an excerpt from the You Bloom Streets of LA 2018 rockumentary that was Lisandro's. It was his, it was his idea. It was his, life force that went into that idea, and we were just there to help him get through that and make it happen. But if you want to check it out, there's a You Bloom Streets of LA Facebook group which has the documentary inside of it, and you can go to Sergio's Vimeo, and I'm pretty sure it's on there as well. Is it?
No, it's on. There's a Facebook fan page.
Okay.
And you could also see it on the foundation that we have. That it's
You can look up Diego Chapete Foundation. There's a business card
I don't know
right
if you can
there.
see it there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can just go on Facebook and you can stream it there. It's an hour documentary, but it says that's 4 hours because it repeats 4 times. We streamed that for the first time at our foundation, and yeah. But also you can see it on You Bloom Streets of LA Facebook fan page too. It's there too.
So my question is, what made you want to get into film? Let's just get to the nitty gritty here. Why are you influenced to make films? What got you into film? What was the defining moment in your life that said, hey, I want to be a filmmaker? When you were growing up, were you putting things together, like visionary? Explain how you went from young child to this person that you are now, creating films.
I don't know, man. I mean, I always, and since I was a kid, I just wanted to be a filmmaker, and no one just stopped me. My parents supported me, so I was born in LA, where filmmaking is an industry, so I was always exposed to movies since I was a kid, and I just wanted to be a filmmaker. It's just that simple. You're just born and wanting to be something, and yeah. I mean, yeah, that's basically.
I'm going to dig a little deeper here, because I'll explain it myself, though, in my life, kind of, right? So I've been writing poetry almost my whole life. I had, you know how you send your stuff into a competition, and it's like, oh, hey, then you can buy the book, your stuff will be published in it. But in reality, that competition is having you pay the money for the book to pay out their prize winners. Well, I was published in one of those when I was elementary school. And I've been writing pretty much my whole life, but being my size, 130 pounds, 140 pounds, maybe ever, and you're writing poetry and you're going through high school and all this stuff, you're pretty much not going, hey, I'm the poet, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get made fun of, kind of. So being a filmmaker, you don't have that stigma or whatever else, but I guess I'm saying, nobody stopped you, you were destined to be a filmmaker, but what was the moment that you were like, I want to be a filmmaker,
Well, I mean, I kind of believe that everybody can be anything they want as long as they put their mind to it. And but the hardest thing that a lot of people do not understand about, I know I don't like to call myself an artist, but if you look at it, you know, if you separate things, okay, yes, if I do film, that means I'm an artist. But I have this feeling that everybody is an artist. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your background. It's just the way that you use this art, this power, and also and the power of creating good. So I believe everyone does. The people use this power in different ways. For example, a businessman uses art in a different ways. A hippie uses art in a different way. So it just depends how you use these tools to benefit yourself and benefit the people that are around you. So yeah, I fascinating by of filmmaking, and I think I wasn't really sure exactly what I wanted to do with it. I wasn't watching probably the best movies to get inspired, but when I went to film school, I decided to go to film school in Argentina because that's, I mean, first of all, I didn't want to. I lived in Argentina for 20 years, and my parents gave me the option to study here in the American Film Institute. And when I went to like I think it was like a tour or something, and I asked for prices, I was like, I think I'm gonna just stay in Argentina because it's crazy what people do here. Like students step, kids get to these horrible debts, and I've been reading about situations where there's like veterans that are still paying these debts, and yeah, I honestly didn't want to be in that page. I didn't think it was fair for me, you know, just trying to pay a debt of education when education should be free for all. You know, I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in freedom of education. I believe that we all need equal opportunities. So I don't want to be in an environment where that was going to be the principle of my education was going to be.
You're cutting out. Oh.
Huh?
Oh, you just cut out and then it went black and then it came back.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, that explains a decent amount of it. It explains how you got to film school. How much did you have to pay in Argentina as compared to an American film student?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I can't hear you anymore, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, what I'm saying is, you decided to, you basically decided to go to film school in Argentina because you felt like student debt was bullshit. Can you explain how much?
No, and also, the program that they had here and over there was exactly the same. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna save $1, and I'm gonna learn the same, probably free. So I don't have nothing to lose if I just stay in my country, which was Argentina, and study there, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. What I'm gonna take you off the screen for now, just to until your picture becomes better. So it's just me on screen right now.
All right.
Yeah, but I don't like that. Okay. Back to you, Sergio. How much did you pay compared to here, though?
I don't remember, man, because inflation, but a lot of things are free in education over there in my country.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, education and medical assistance is free. I mean, it was free until this new government came aboard and destroyed everything. I'm talking about the actual president of Argentina, called Mauricio Macri. It's one of the reasons I wanted to leave that country.
Your connection's spotty. Boom. Sergio is
come here to the States because.
You there, Sergio?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I couldn't hear you for a second. You were cutting out connection-wise.
All right.
On air is Sergio Bonacci La Palma, aka Chapete. It's just me on the screen right now because we're having video difficulties, but we are talking about how he wanted to become a filmmaker, how he's gotten... Basically, we're at the point of where he went to college for film. He decided to choose to go to college in Argentina because it was basically the same program that he was being offered in the United States at a discounted rate, because before the new regime came into power in Argentina, education was close to free still. So that's the point we're at right now, and we're going to get him back on. You there?
Yeah.
There we go. What are you doing? Picking your nails?
No, I'm just playing with my bracelet.
So when did you graduate film school? You're frozen again. McDonald's Wi-Fi.
You want me to go to McDonald's?
No, I'm saying your screen's frozen. Your connection's not that great, I guess.
All right, I'm gonna go to the. Then you want to put some music at the meantime?
Yeah, I'm gonna. So.
Hello.
I'm gonna show Sergio's documentary that he's currently working on with Lissandro Negromonte. It is "If the Blues Were Money, I Would Be a Millionaire." The first teaser is Tony Coleman. I'm going to show you some of that right about now.
Hey, y'all, I think it's time for a Tony T.C. Coleman shuffle. Environment out here is so beautiful. You know, if you close your eyes, you can still feel it. But musicians are that way. They play from within their soul. They don't think. The best musicians play with feeling. And Papo and Deacon, BB, everybody, that's how it is. If you're thinking when you're playing, you're not playing.
Sergio?
Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm going to, I'm like 2 blocks away. I'm going to go where there's good Wi-Fi.
All right.
It's a coffee shop where I go to. They have really good Wi-Fi, and I know there's a spot I can sit there and, yeah, have better connection-wise. I'm right here driving my car right there.
This is I Am on the Spotlight, and we are riding in cars with Sergio. Chapete Bonacci live.
So yeah, you want to see my neighborhood a little?
This is Chapete's neighborhood in Los Angeles.
Wait.
He's driving on
God,
a mobile
I hope
connection.
I don't crash by doing this crazy shit, man. All right.
You were wondering if I was going to be back on time. Man. You were wondering if I was going to be back on time for the stream, and you're the one with the bad connection.
Well, man, I mean, at least I have time to show you my neighborhood.
Oh, that's true. Anybody watching in Bend, Oregon, anybody across the continental United States, anybody who watches this afterwards is seeing Sergio, a.k.a. Chapete Bonacci's neighborhood. And what neighborhood is this exactly? What neighborhood are we driving through?
Boyle Heights.
Oh, we're driving through Boyle Heights.
Boyle Heights.
Boyle Heights is being driven through right this moment. We have one person who is tuned in right now on one of the pages.
Great, just one person?
Right now we have one live viewer.
That's probably my mom.
I have no idea who it is.
Hi, Mom.
Let's see. See more options.
Okay.
Advanced settings. Copy.
Okay, I just got into the parking. Now I'm backing up.
Aaron Wilson said, hello, he is at work. Yo, 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 Aaron Wilson. Not exactly who is live and who is with us or not right now. I will figure that part of this out next week. For the next 2 weeks. Sergio is parked somewhere. He's in a parking lot. There you go. See a lovely, lovely parking lot of Los Angeles. Looks like there's coffee and pizza across the street, and I think that's where Sergio is headed. Here is our play-by-play for our I Am on the Spotlight. We are spotlighting Sergio Bonacci La Palma, aka Chapete Bonacci. You can find him on Facebook at Chapete VJ for his SBL Productions page, and you can find his Maldita Productions at facebook.com/maldita.prod or find him at maldita.prod. You can find his videos on vimeo.com/SBLaPalma or at SBLaPalma via Vimeo. So, it looks like Chapete's feed is frozen yet again. I am on the spot. I am a spoken word poet. I am an artist. I am a filmmaker. I am all of those things. I have made films with Chapete. I have made films on my own accord. I've filmed all the way across the continental United States. I've driven across half of Ireland, and I stuck the camera out of the car while I was driving. I can show you some of that footage next week if you would like to see it. I've written poetry driving from Los Angeles to New York City. That book is called Day Tripper, and I can show you a copy of that by the time we are done streaming here today. This is episode 1. Inaugural episode. We have one live viewer right now. Whoever you are, I say thank you because, you know, you can give us some feedback. You can tell us how it's going, what you liked, what you disliked. Sergio has left the call. Dink, dink, dink. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come back over here, and there I am. So I'll have auto transitions and everything set up next week, so hotkeys, everything else, the whole nine. This was basically, hey, can I get this up? Hey, can I have an episode going? Hey, what's happening? And I think Chapete is back. So let's see if he is back.
Dude,
yes, I can hear you.
My phone got on fire. It said like temperature, so I needed to take it out of the car.
Oh, no, that's good. I've been promoting myself because you have been offline.
Oh my God, what did you say about yourself? Can you repeat it? No, just kidding.
I am on the spot. I am a poet. I am a filmmaker. I am an artist.
I'll get a book. I'm here at Weird Wave. Here's.
I'm gonna give you a weird
friend
wave.
of mine. They're doing an interview.
I'm trying to do an interview.
Huh? Here, you want to interview him? Hold on. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, Mark. I'm doing well.
What is your name for the Facebook universe to know?
I don't use Facebook Universal.
Oh, you don't have to use it. I was asking you what your name is so the universe of Facebook could know who you are.
Oh, okay, my name's John.
John, and where are you at right now?
I'm John, and I'm in Los Angeles, California, in Boyle Heights, in a coffee shop called Weird Wave.
Weird Wave getting a shout out today. We have John from Weird Wave, Boyle Heights,
Weird Wave.
Los Angeles. There we go.
Am I really being live streamed to 1 million different users right now?
Oh, not 1 million. We got one right now, but you know.
Hey, Mom.
First episode, I am on the spotlight. We have John, Boyle Heights, Weird Wave, coffee.
Yeah. Life's real out here. Earlier today, it was raining, and now it's not. What?
The sun is coming out. There we go, Boyle Heights.
There it is. All right, I'm gonna return you.
Okay,
Sergio's waiting.
thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. That is John from Weird Wave, Boyle Heights. If you're in Boyle Heights, Los Angeles, check out Weird Wave. That is what's giving Sergio his internet connection right now.
Yeah, I only come here for the guys.
Alright, are you going to be good now,
Hello?
Sergio? Are you going to keep coming in and out of video? Can we actually conduct an interview?
Yeah, man, I think we're gonna be fine now. Now that they have good internet connection here.
Weird Wave is a company. I am on the spotlight, sponsored by Weird Wave, Boyle Heights.
Great. So, sorry, I hope I didn't kill all of your views, man. You probably had my mom there, and she probably just left it.
I mean, when I put the video on YouTube, I can edit it up to you being at Weird Wave, so we'll be alright.
Oh, you're gonna censor it?
I'm not gonna censor it, but
You're censoring the content?
it's not being censored right now on Facebook. You're trying to give me the weirdest first episode ever, you bastard. I know exactly what you're doing. It's alright. I am on the spot.
Right.
This is what I do. Should I explain what I am on the spot means?
Yes, please.
I am on the spot means exactly what Sergio's doing, basically. He's basically making me have to be comfortable in whatever situation. I am on the spot. I'm sitting in this chair doing what needs to be done for this interview to be done. If I was where Sergio was, I'd be on the spot too. Sergio's on the spot right now. That is what I am on the spot is. It's getting it done creatively, giving a different point of view, not just taking the social norm as what it is. It's pushing the envelope and just creating. So that's what we're going to do today, and we are on the spotlight. And we're spotlighting Sergio Bonacci La Palma, a.k.a. Chapete. He hates when I use his government name, but hey, I'm Mark Bowers. I am on the spot. So, back to what we were talking about before. Should I give a quick recap? I mean, I've already done that once. I don't think it really needs to be done again. Back to college in Argentina. When did you graduate college?
2008.
Okay, and was your first film that you produced yourself The Bloody Prey?
Yeah, that was in film school. I did that in 2009, 2010, I think.
And you were you were making revisions the whole time before you submitted it for the festivals in 2011?
I did it more as it was a thesis for my second year, and I just did it more as a student project. I didn't find it any ambition. I just wanted to do. I mean, my ambition was just ambitious for myself. I was just doing it as a thesis, as an exercise. So, on it. What was the question again?
Were you working on it the whole time from when you graduated until? Because basically,
I was in second year. It was a 3-year school, so I was working on it on the second year for my thesis of year 2. So I worked on it a lot. I would go to a coffee shop. And with Jose Luis Nachi, who was the director that I later co-produced with him on the movie of Bonavena. And I was just work with him on the coffee shop, just working on the Bonavena documentary because he needed to get funds, and I helped him present a folder to the National Film Board of Argentina, and he already presented it like 2 or 3 times, so I helped them just make the budget look better. We got someone that helped us budget it out better. I helped him, prepare the folder. The script was really good. I didn't touch the script, of course. The script was his. He was my professor of film analysis, I think it was called, the class. But I would just sit in the coffee shop with him working on his movie, and I was just editing that. But I was just doing it more as an exercise while I was just helping him with his film, which is a really good film.
Bonavena?
Yeah. It's called Soy Ringo.
And was that about the boxer?
Yeah, it's an Argentinian boxer. In fact, today I actually saw a video of the next next vice president of Argentina, Cristina Kirchner, that mentions a phrase of Bonavena, and it's a really good phrase. It says, "A comb, it's an element given to you." No, el peine. Hold on. Let me just think about it. It's because I gotta translate it. El peine es un elemento que te dan después. The comb is it's a tool that they give you after you are bald. So it's basically talks about the experience and how that you get older, you get more wiser. So Bonavena uses that quote a lot, and he's been quoted out with that quote ever since he died. So it's been really known. So yeah. That was the Bonavena film that we did with Jose Luis Nachi, and Bonavena was an Argentinian boxer. He was heavyweight boxer. He fought against Joe Frazier, and he fought against John Chuvalo, Canadian. He beat them. He also fought against Muhammad Ali. That was probably his most interesting fight in his career, and also in Muhammad Ali's career too. Bonavena had the characteristics of being a mediatic person, and it was something kind of new because nowadays everybody's an influencer, everybody knows how to get the attention of the media. But back in the 70s, that was kind of like it's really, kind of an experiment. The TV and everything was starting to come into the media. So he was really known for being his own manager and for getting these really big fights with these really big fighters like Muhammad Ali. And one of the documentary talks about how he got the fight with Muhammad Ali, which is really interesting. He actually went to a conference of Ali in New York, and he started insulting him in the audience. That's kind of like, and so Muhammad Ali just wanted to kick his ass. So
he had to make people. He was good at theatrics. He was able to garner the attention of the people by making the champ hate him.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of new back in the time.
So he kind of had to have a little bit of infamy to get his shot.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you think, because he was murdered, right? And it was kind of unsolved?
Well, yeah, he was murdered in the Mustang Ranch. That's in Reno, Nevada. He was murdered in the doors of this brothel house that's called the Mustang Ranch, that was managed by Sally Conforte and Joe Conforte. This brothel house was known for being the first brothel to legalize prostitution in the United States back in the 70s.
Wow.
So yeah, he just didn't have he didn't surround himself with the good people in the end of his career. He wanted to get another fight with Muhammad Ali, but he met these people that weren't probably the best people that he should have met in order to fulfill his dream. So yeah, he started having he started getting himself inside the mob. That's basically, just to make up the story short. And when you don't do what the mob tells you what to do, the Italian mob, especially when they have so many branches on these services, you end up killed. So that's kind of what happened. And summing it up, there's a whole bunch of background story to it, which is all mentioned in the documentary, because the documentary is kind of like a police investigation over his murder and over his career and his influence in Argentina and his influence over a lot of boxers worldwide that still remember him and consider him a really, really good fighter too.
Do you think that Bonavena would have beaten Ali if he didn't get murdered?
He wanted to have a second match with him, Well, actually, you should see the fight. The fight is really interesting. It's back in the 70s when there was like 15 rounds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna respond to your question because, it's really hard to be the champion especially when you're in the United States, because a lot of the rules in boxing are always in favor to the champion that has the belt. So, Bonavena had some really good points. When he was fighting with Muhammad Ali, and if you see the fight one in the documentary they mentioned it, if you see the fight, you can see how in a way Ali kind of cheats, because when you knock out, when one of the boxer goes down, the opponent has to go to the side of the ring, and Muhammad Ali wouldn't do that because he just wanted to kick his ass out. So responding to your question, if there would have been a second match, I really don't know if Ringo would have won him, because Ringo didn't have really good techniques. He was kind of like he had flat feet, and it's a term. It's a real term, even though it sounds funny.
So
it's a term.
Ali was powerful and athletic, whereas Ringo was really powerful, but he wasn't as athletic and graceful as Ali.
No, I mean the difference in strength. Ringo was powerful.
Yeah.
He was much more stronger. In fact, Muhammad Ali mentions, and I quote him, that the biggest punch he had in his career was from Ringo. And Ringo had. If you see their arms, you can see that there's two arms of Ali's and Ringo's arm. So he had a really, really big arm. So if you can see in the fight, and in the documentary you could see, because they show it in slow motion, that he punches him like in the head. And so yeah, he was really strong, but he didn't have techniques. He was kind of like, he would throw punches like on the side. Ali just had all the characteristics that a real champion would have. And also Ali was really more politically wise. He was more educated, and of course he represented a really, really, really big movement here in the United States that was the black community. And all of his acts represented political influence over the people, which Ali was more like an entertainment person. He was just trying to, entertain the audience in order to get fights and to get the attention, where Ali was doing it more as activism, basically.
So, yeah, Ali basically had the political community behind him inside of the United States, and Ringo was coming from a place where he was an outsider, so it was going to be hard for an outsider to win a title, period, as well as not having the technical aspects of Ali. So basically everything was against him, and then the mob was at the end of his career, so he kind of really didn't have a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
So all the odds were kind of stacked against him, so that really does make for a good film, because there's a lot of different dramatic scenes and everything else involved.
Yeah.
So where do we find I Am Ringo?
I Am Ringo's not released yet. It's but you can contact the fan page on Facebook, or you can just contact me on Facebook and I can give a copy. We are doing like theatrical distribution and TV distribution for the moment. But yeah, the documentary was screened at the Havana Film Festival. It's a really important film festival of new filmmaking in Latin America that is screened in Cuba, and for me, it's probably one of the most important film festivals there is, at least in America. They always have like political features. So it was screened there. Then it was screened in some other festivals as well, as Bafisi. There was some screenings in Europe. It didn't do really good in the States though, because I think, there were some reviews that we had from like the Americans that I think they didn't like it very much. But like everywhere else, it was really well received. They even won some awards too.
Do you think,
like in Italy, it went pretty good. There were some festivals in Italy that went pretty well.
Why do you think it wasn't received well in America?
Because Americans don't like subtitles.
Okay.
That's the first reason. That's the first reason. And also, documentaries and movies here are always made in the same way. They're not different. They're not, used to seeing documentaries that are different.
Yeah.
So that also, like, if you have a structure that's not classic, it doesn't fit the market here. So it's hard to penetrate a market and penetrate an audience that are. But lately, like in the last 5 years, people are watching more documentaries and more open wise in documentary. So that's starting to change. And thanks to, to online streaming that are promoting these independent projects, because that's kind of like opening people's mind. But in general, I think that it's people, at least in the United States, like the movies that do well are just the same movies they've been doing for the last 10 years. In fact, there's another Aladdin movie coming up, and it's a remake. I think it's made shot by shot. Like, it's not even creative. It's like a story. They're getting like the cartoon as a storyboard, and they're just recreating it live. And it's all CGI, so it's not even live. So it's like everything is computer animated. So that's what's Hollywood right now, unfortunately. It's not.
It just seems like everything's a formulaic recipe, and the only thing that's changed really in Hollywood to me would be like when the French New Wave happened. And then when the French New Wave happened, what would you say that was, the late 60s? Into the early 70s?
Well,
and
here in California, there was like a mirror of that movement here, which I love a lot. That's
what was that film that they rode those motorcycles around?
That's Easy Rider. That's
Exactly.
what I was going to talk about right now.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah. So Easy Rider, all of those movies are kind of like mirror films that happen in the time that the Nouvelle Vague happened in Europe, and movies that got influenced that start making those got influenced, or probably there was same experience happening and same thinkers that started thinking hey, we've got to try to make films differently. So there's a really interesting filmmaker that was here from LA that not many people know about. It was Sean Cassavet. That I think we've talked about him with you a few times, but yeah, those are good filmmakers. Sean Cassavet, John Waters. Then you have Kenneth Agner.
What films do they do?
John Cassavet.
Yeah.
What's his name? I haven't seen his movies in a long time. But usually his movies were like really theatrically experimental. Like he would use like a lot of European techniques and improvising with the actors, and moving the story forward with the actors rather than moving the actors forward with the story.
Yep.
So that was kind of his style, and he got really known because he was one of Hitchcock's casts in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like in Birds and some other movie. But yeah.
So here's,
I don't remember.
So going back to like the main theme, why I brought up the French New Wave, because you were talking about documentaries and how you made why Soy Ringo would be reviewed a little bad in the United States would be because it was an experimental documentary.
No, it wasn't experimental.
Which one?
Ringo is not an experimental documentary. It's really classical.
Yeah.
It's a crime documentary.
Okay, so
it's really classical. It copies all the formulas of movies here. That's why it's really interesting.
So what one got received badly that we were talking about that led me to the French New Wave?
What was what?
You said one got received badly in America.
No, I'm not saying that. I said that it didn't get into festivals here in the United States. The Bonavena movie. I think because the point of view was from someone outside the United States rather than from an American audience. That's what I want to say.
So yeah, but I'm thinking like what you said like 5 years ago, documentaries were basically classic form, and now they're becoming more experimental because of live streaming and everything else. Do you think it's kind of similar to when the French New Wave happened, classic Hollywood cinema shifted a little bit? Do you think the documentary scene will shift somewhat now that it's being punctured by all of these other ideas?
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, everything always changes.
But do you think it has to be like basically, if it were an artist in America doing it, do you think it would shift? It would be less likely to shift as fast as having outside influences like artists from Europe, artists from South America, etc., putting out all these experimental things that now, you know, an American audience or American filmmakers are watching. Then does it shift after that happens, you know? I don't know.
I mean, it's just a matter of time to see what happens.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of changes happening, and also, like, social media, it's a big influence
Yeah.
over everything that we watch nowadays. So we don't have. It's not that you're gonna go and watch a movie because a friend saw you to watch it. That friend probably watched that movie because he got exposed over, you know, propaganda on his phone.
Yep.
So there's not much freedom of what things you watch nowadays. So things are changing constantly, and it's probably hard for me to give you like a panorama of what's going to happen between now, what's been happening, because everything is so new. Like social media has been on the market for probably less than 10 years. So it's hard for me to give you like an objective study of what can really happen in the next years.
We'll look at it like this. If social media has been on the market 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Television went to the World's Fair in 1940. So we've had roughly about 80 years of television. And we've had 10 years of social media. Do you feel like social media and the internet movement with film and the quote propaganda will move more quickly than television did in the last 80 years?
Oh yes, of course. You're watching TV all the time.
Yeah.
Now more than ever.
And what I'm saying is when they put out the television in the 40s, the government and etc. were the ones that were basically monitoring those gateways. And now there's only 5 people that really control those gateways. Do you think social media and self-production and what we're doing right now, first episode I Am on the Spotlight, does that allow more freedom of propaganda than, you know, in times before?
Facebook restricts a lot of things that you show.
Yeah, censorship, definitely.
So there's no freedom nowadays. Probably. There's no freedom.
So it's still the same exact thing until independent people create an independent platform.
Exactly. Which is happening little by little. I mean, we have a currency like Bitcoin that is starting to hit. It's hitting the roof right now.
And mine's
we have a lot of alternatives that are happening in the informatic age era. So it's just a matter of time that things start collapsing and people starting, you know, wanna, you know, just break the wall, basically.
Well, my buddy Carl's been telling me about a new social media platform, which is Minds, MINDS.com, and it is run off of a Bitcoin type of cryptocurrency. So
that's interesting.
That's also a different form of media.
Oh, can you share me the link? I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, and there's a guy on there, I forget his name exactly, Tim Poole. He was one of the first journalists when Vice got started, but he left there when they started getting very extremist. He has a huge following on Minds.com, and Tim Poole and Minds are teaming up and creating studios along the East Coast. So Minds seems to me that might be an independent platform that could allow what we are, you know, kind of dreaming up right here. It's like, okay, we are censored. We are still being programmed by the censorship. So how do we give people programming without propaganda? So I guess that's basically what we're trying to get to, and this is the first episode. No matter how many people are watching, here we are on the spot, and this is I'm on the Spotlight, featuring Chapete, and we've talked about Bonavena, a documentary he helped with, Soy Ringo. You can find it on Facebook.com, look it up, Soy Ringo. There should be a group, there should be a link to a trailer. And we've talked about The Bloody Illusion, his first film. When he finished film school, that was one of the first films he got into festivals. And next we are on to The Bloody Illusion. How did you get onto The Bloody Illusion? How did you get to making The Bloody Illusion? What was that process like, marrying Gallego, right?
Yeah, Jingle.
Yeah, like how did you even come across both of them? I kind of want to bring them up.
The best part of that project is that I ended up doing something that I wasn't intending and doing. So I wrote something that ended up being something totally different than what I actually ended up filming.
I'm going to pull a link up of that right now as you're talking. I'm going to make you the full screen right now. There's Sergio, full screen, Chapete. So, while I pull this up, like, just explain, like, yes, it was a project that you started that, you know, you didn't know that you were exactly it was going to turn out that way. You had a different vision when you first started that project. Tell me how that vision became different than what you initially wanted it to be.
Well, I basically met them. I met these two characters that there was like a force that made me. I mean, I've known them from before, but they wanted to participate in this documentary. So this is when I started understanding how films, especially documentaries, have like a social impact over people. Film in particular, because people have always seen movies, have always seen film, have TV, have always seen TV, and you know, the way that television works over people's mind and over the culture it's huge. It's something. It's, you know, you go to Hollywood, you see these red carpets over these huge celebrities here, but what you don't know is that there's
Hollywood. Like me and you have been to like events. You could rent a place out, throw a red carpet down, throw a background, and people will be like, "What's going on?"
I lost you there. What?
I said, like, even me and you, we could rent a place out, throw out a red carpet, put a background up, and people would be like, "Oh, what you got going on over there?" You know, like they're so lost in the idea of what it is rather than the ideas that are being created.
No, yeah. But what I want to say is that all of the mediatic power that the media has, it's huge, and people don't understand, living here in the United States, that outside the United States, a lot of things that are produced here are seen also worldwide, which backwards doesn't happen, because people here do not see much things that are being filmed in other countries, because it's a really, you know, exclusive content country.
Yeah.
So if when I met Gallego and Mary from that short film, it was really interesting because they kind of like approached me because they wanted to be part of this project. I was just trying to I wrote a script about a woman that wanted to escape from her husband that abused her with her children, and she wanted to escape to the city. That was basically the storyline. So when I was looking for an actress, and I don't know how she got into, I think I don't know. The thing is, she got her hands got her script on it, and she really wanted to be part of it. And she passed away, and her husband passed away not so long ago. God rest their soul. And the thing is that they insisted so much, and I didn't have an actor or an actress for it. I just had the team that I just went with it. I said, okay, let's see what happens. I mean, let's experiment. You know, I went to an experimental film school, and I'm not the type of person that writes things that, you know, pretend that what you write is going to be as what is later filmed, because, you know, for me that is bullshit. That's kind of like not being organic. You always got to play with the people that are around you in order to make that project more richer and organic.